Have you ever wanted to live in a utopia wherein the people around you are the greatest artists, thinkers, and scientists of all time, prospering in an environment without the intervention of the government or religion? If so, then I have the place just for you, the underwater city of Rapture. And lucky for you, we have a special message from the mind behind the creation of the city of Rapture, Andrew Ryan himself.
A man has a choice. I chose the impossible. I built a city where the artist would not fear the censor, where the great would not be constrained by the small, where the scientist would not be bound by petty morality. I chose to build Rapture.
What is up, my dudes? I'm Kyle, and if you thought that the previous part of this video is true, then sorry to burst your bubble, it's not. The City of Rapture and Andrew Ryan are from Bioshock, a first-person shooter from 2K Games. The game is set in the 1960s. You're minding your own business, flying above the mid-Atlantic Ocean, when suddenly, the plane you're riding crashes into the sea. In order to survive, you swim towards a lighthouse to look for help. But instead of help, you were thrusted into a place different from the one you were used to. Rapture is a city that once was vibrant and full of people. Keyword was. The Rapture that you get to explore is the ruins left behind by the different conflicts that occurred before you came here. Dim, decayed, and dilapidated, you must find your way to survive in this environment. One of my favorites in this game is its atmosphere. You could really feel how run down the place is, especially when you encounter the Splicers, the insane survivors of Rapture. Their hostility towards you in combination with the setting can really get under your skin. The feeling of being in a new environment with strangers can be compared to transferring to a new school. Except 100 times worse, and the people
Surprise,
don't try to kill you. But what has led Rapture to this situation? It all started with the discovery of Adam, a chemical substance that is gathered from the certain species of sea slugs found near Rapture. It has the ability of rewriting the genetic code of a person when infused into their bodies. This would allow people to have the ability of producing flames or lightning at will, or even telekinesis. The downside is that Adam is extremely addictive and leads to mental deterioration, and unfortunately, everyone in Rapture wanted it, and everybody needed it. People went insane due to their addiction, and it did not help when a civil war soon arose in Rapture. One of the most prominent examples of the descent into insanity that the people of Rapture experienced was that of Dr. Steinman of the Medical Pavilion. He was an accomplished surgeon that was known throughout Rapture. By collecting some of the audio diaries left behind in Rapture, players could learn about the history behind the city and its people. Let's take a listen on what these audio diaries have to say about Dr. Steinman.
Adam presents new problems for the professional. As your tools improve, so do your standards. There was a time I was happy enough to take off a wart or two, or turn a real circus freak into something you can show in the daylight, but that was then, when we took what we got. But with Adam, the flesh becomes clay. What excuse do we have not to sculpt and sculpt and sculpt until the job is done? When Picasso became bored of painting people, he started representing them as cubes and other abstract forms. The world called him a genius. I've spent my entire surgical career creating the same tired shapes over and over again. The upturned nose, the cleft chin, the ample bosom. Wouldn't it be wonderful if I could do with a knife that old Spaniard did with a brush. I am beautiful, yes. Look at me. What could I do to make my features finer? With Adam and my scalpel, I have been transformed. But is there not something better? What if now it is not my skill that fails me, but my imagination? Aphrodite is walking the halls, shimmering like a scalpel. Steinman, she calls. Steinman, I have what you're looking for. Just open your eyes, and when I see her, she cuts me into 1,000 beautiful pieces. Today, I had lunch with the goddess. Steinman, she said, I'm here to free you from the tyranny of the commonplace. I'm here to show you a new kind of beauty. I asked her, what do you mean, goddess? Symmetry, dear Steinman. It's time we did something about symmetry. For silk and done.
The nose looks terrific, Dr. Steinman. Doctor?
You know, looking at it now, I didn't realize how much her face sags. Scalpel?
Excuse me?
Scalpel.
Doctor, she's not booked for a facelift.
Let's just come in here and...
Doctor, stop cutting. Doctor, stop cutting. Get me the chief of surgery. Get me the chief of surgery now!
Disturbing, is it not? What sets Bioshock apart from many other first-person shooters, apart from its atmosphere, is its use of plasmids. Plasmids are the fruit of Adam, which allowed people of Rapture to have inhumane powers at the cost of their mental health. Being able to harness the plasmids to protect yourself in combination with the different weapons allowed many people who played Bioshock to have varying playstyles. I sometimes consider Bioshock as a horror game, considering it can be horrifying sometimes. There are a lot of topics that can be talked about in Bioshock, but instead of spoiling the game to you, I suggest that you play the game to experience them for yourselves. Well, that's all for me in this video. Subscribe please.